Kedet Shedwahibritaka Unka Dakota Iapi Hana Iwa Dakikte Michiake. Abetukinde Washkashni Chad Wochake Wajiwakakte. Aito Nija Anahopta Nakapte. Wochake Yuha Nakapi Echana Nija Itohana Ayabho. Wochake Kidenina Wash Ake. Hero hona maunipi. Heo ho he Dakota Iapi. Ugosbe uhuna uskampi. Aito. Tukashira wakanta kaito. Kuritoa hitwaga aushimakidaya. Wamaya kaeto amija. Tukte uhuna oakihi ahaya Dakota wichok akide. Yuha hadus hachin mawani. Tiwaki kinda Dakota Iapkinda. Tukte uhna oakihi aha mija hatchet washka. Uka hatchana omakiapte. Ihno nachtaku uke wahadushna kingna. Itohna amichikto jamea. Tuksta hatchet wahibda vragash. Aketaku tok chamaki pasapte. Hana hatchin michi ake. Aha naku hichi naku. Anagopta akapking na ija naku ushiwi chakidaya. Dakota Iapi uspepi chimpiga hana hechat anagopta akapi. Ito ushiwi chakidaya o chakiaho. Mitakiawas. Okay, my friends and relatives, I've come upon here again today to speak more about our language. And I want to do a little bit of speaking on the language, how important it is, because without our language, not know a lot of things. So I spoke about it before, how our language is so important. Dakota Iapi, speaking Dakota. It is so important. And I want people to think about that, to take it into their hearts and define that in the best way that you can. Because without our Dakota language, we are not Dakota. So we have to understand and learn. And when we do that, it changes our way of thinking. Dakota Iapi, speaking Dakota, will change within everything that we think about. We'll think about things in a different way. We will have a more positive mind. We will do things in a better way. In our Dakota language, we have no negative thinking. Our thinking is always good, looking forward to try and do things to make it better, especially for the young ones. They are the ones that we are teaching. And that's how we all grew up, us that are speaking Dakota, like myself. You know, I was born with a language. I knew nothing but Dakota. I spoke it. I did things in our Dakota way. We played. We were happy all the time. There was no fighting within, my siblings. We listened to our parents. They disciplined us in a good way. We appreciated, the things that they have taught us. We never answered back because we were disciplined with love. Everything, was about caring and about compassion. Until I was 6 years old, that's when I was taken away to residential school. And then I had to learn the English language. If I didn't, there was punishment. So I lost my language. I was at the school for 1 year. When I came home, I didn't know the language. I came home speaking English. So that kind of changed my way of thinking, and that's what colonization does. It changes people. It changes them to think in another way, to think about things that will suit them better. But in our Dakota way, it doesn't work like that. We care for each other. Everything is surrounded, by our language, our Dakota way of life. And this is why we were close, especially families were very close because we had extended families. All my aunties on my mother's side were just like my mothers, and all the brothers on my father's side, they were just like our fathers, our dads. And this is how our Dakota way of life works. We were all one big extended family. My mother's sister's children were like brothers and sisters to us. And again, on my father's side, his brother's children were like brothers and sisters to us. So, we were always a big extended family, and that's how we always lived. And with my living, knowing that this is how our Dakota way of life is, I continue to live like that. And this is what I am teaching my own children, my own grandchildren, that, my sister's children are just like their brothers and sisters. The same with my brothers too. My brothers, their children are like their own sons and daughters. So it goes on like that, and grandparents were always there, looking after us. When a child is born, the mother will look after the child for a while, maybe about 2-3 years, until, they were able to eat on their own. And then the grandparents will take over while the mother will continue to do the household work, like getting wood, getting water, making clothes, tanning hides, all that. And the grandmother will teach the young girls how to sew, how to make little fires. They'll sew dolls, and the grandfathers will teach the young boys how to make bow and arrows or little playthings. So they were always kept busy. There was There was no goofing off time, while they were making these things, while they were teaching these things, they were learning how to be a good Dakota person. And the fathers will go off hunting, or sometimes they go, to war. But everybody had a play. Everybody was kept busy in a good way. There was always laughter, talking Dakota, and now because of colonization, we don't see that often. People tend to mind other people's business. Instead of minding their own business, they take another person's business and use that against them. So, this is what colonization does. This is the Washichu way of life that, we have adapted into because, of residential school, 60 scoop, day school. It changed a lot of people. Now, we don't hear any young women and young men talking Dakota, and that's sad. And this is why I'm here, to try and put that message across that we need to start learning the language. Our language is so important. It has so much meaning. Whereas, when you say something in Washichu, we don't get the full understanding of that. Whereas, if you say something in Dakota, sometimes even just one word, it will mean a lot. It can tell you a story. So this is why, our language is important. We use our language in ceremony where the Creator listens. The Creator, Wakantanka, was the one that gave us the language, brought the language to us, and this is how we were able to communicate with each other. So the ceremonial songs, are sung in Dakota. Any kind of ceremony. Now we have powwow singing. We have, other activities that go on, that we use the Dakota in it. Praying, we pray in Dakota, which is more meaningful than saying the Our Father who art in heaven, like that. When we pray, we make up our prayer and we talk directly to the Creator, to Wakantanka. We talk directly because how we feel in our heart to give us that strength so as we can continue to walk forward with a good heart. This is what the prayer is all about, to use it in a good way. This is how come our language, the Dakota language, it doesn't have no swear words. It's a pure language. The Creator brought this language, in the purest way possible, so as we can live like that. But now, because of colonization, the English language has so many ugly words that people use, especially the young ones. We don't need to speak like that. We are not that. We are Dakota people. We are to be speaking our own language without those ugly words in it, because there's no translations for those words anyway. So maybe this is why people don't want to learn the language. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to learn the language because, they're not going to use it out there. But even though we don't use it out there, it's still very important because we are Dakota people. We have our Dakota way of life. We have so many things that we still do in our Dakota way of life. We still have ceremonies that we depend on. We still have prayer that we depend on. So many things that we still depend on in our Dakota way. And now we don't have very many people, that are fluent speakers. This is why, I'm doing what I can to promote this beautiful language for other people to know and to carry and converse in this beautiful language. We'll understand better. It will heal our mind, our spirit, our hearts, our anger. It will be as bad, if we spoke the language, because we walk with prayer. And when we walk with prayer, it helps us, it calms us. So I want to encourage people to start learning this language. It's not hard. Only you will make it hard for yourself. But once you get into it and start learning, what out there, even if you can learn one word a day, that's really good. That's a start. And we'll have to keep on going. Never mind, if somebody says to you, oh, you're saying it the right way. That's okay. And all you have to do is say, well, teach me the right way, and see if they will. So don't let anybody pull you down that you're not doing it properly, because we're all trying. And it's good. Don't be afraid. Do what you can to help yourself, to help your children, your grandchildren, whoever surrounds you. Talk to them, even just one word. Even if you can say, hanta, move out of the way. That's a start. Or you can say, koyana, or inachni. That means hurry. Koyana, inachni. Just, simple little command words. Iotanka, sit. Inaje, stand. Wota, eat. So, if you can learn those things and use them every day, you'll add on. Like mani ure mag-u. Mani ure mag-u. Give me some water. You keep adding on, and in no time, how to say it, how to say the pronunciation. And before, I have always said, if you have a recorder of some kind, use it. Record the words, especially, the pronunciations. The pronunciations are very important because our words are different. When we put them together, we have, we have nasal sounds. It's kind of like an N sound, but you really don't say na. Like if you say ha, you can hear the word, the N, Huh. It's called a nasal sound. Huh. Or sometimes mag-oo. Mag-oo. That's give me. Mag-oo. So we don't have sounds like that in the English language. Same with maraju, maraju, the guttural G. You can feel it in your throat. Maraju, rain. It means rain. Maraju, or there's another one too with the H. You kind of feel it on the roof of your mouth. He, which means slow. And the other one is so, there's two different sounds that's kind of rough on the throat, and the other one at the top of your mouth. They have those rough sounds. So, and sometimes you get like two consonants together that are difficult to say. For instance, kte, kte, bona bade kte. I am going now. Kte, that's the K and the T, but you put it together like right away. Kte, not kate. It's kte, kte, bona bade kte. So, that's why I encourage you to record it so as, you can listen to it and try and say it, how you hear it. So, so I'll end that. And what I'm going to do now is I started the numbers last week. I started with, everybody knows how to count to 10. And I started like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, all the way to 90. So I said them already, but I'm just going to kind of like do a little review on it. So, and from 11 to 19, it's again, ake wanji, ake numpa, all the way to 19, ake napchiwanka. So that's from 11 to 19, ake. You're saying the number again. So once you get to 19, and then you have wikjemna numpa, wikjemna numpa. And you say that all the way to 90, wikjemna yamni, which is 30, wikjemna topa, which is 40, until you get to 90, which is wikjemna napchiwanka. So I'll just say it, all of it, all the way through. Wikjemna numpa, wikjemna yamni, wikjemna topa, wikjemna zapta, wikjemna shakpe, wikjemna shakowi, wikjemna shahdoga, wikjemna napchionka. So that's 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way to 90. So in between those numbers, like in between 20 and 30, if you want to say, well, take the number 25. You want to say 25, you would say, wikjemna numpa sam zapta. Wikjemna numpa, that's 20. Sampa, that means past, but we shorten it to sam. Zapta. Wikjemna num sam zapta. That's 25. Another one maybe you can use is 28. Wikjemna numpa sam shahdora. So in Wikjemna Yamani, if you want to say a number in between 30 and 40, Wikjemna num sam waji, Wikjemna num sam numpa, Wikjemna num sam Yamani, Wikjemna num sam dopa, Wikjemna num sam zapta, all the way to 29. And the same with 30. Any number between 30 and 40, you always put that sum. Wikjemna Yamani sum, whatever number that you want to say. Same with 40. Wikjemna dopa sum dopa, which is 44. Wikjemna dopa sum shakpe, which is 46. So, and then you come to 50, and the same thing. Wikjemna zapta sam, whatever number. 60, Wikjemna shakpe sam, whatever number you want to add. Wikjemna shakoi sam, whatever number you want to put in there. Wikjemna shahdora sam, again, any number from 1 to 9. And Wikjemna naptionka, which is 90. Wikjemna naptionka sam, any number from 1 to 9, until we get to 100. And then 100 is upanre, 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 that's 100. So we'll count to 10 just to make sure. Wikjemna num, Wikjemna Yamani, Wikjemna dopa, Wikjemna zapta, Wikjemna shakoi, Wikjemna shakoi, Wikjemna shahdora, Wikjemna opare. So I hope I kind of made it clear as what I'm trying to put across. And if you don't, if it's not clear, you can message, so I can look over it and see what problems you are having, and we'll try and work on that a little bit more. So, in going on to finishing that up, you shouldn't really have a problem with that, if you take the necessary steps. And then we also did the opposites. The opposites, washte. Opposite of washte, shicha. Good, bad. Ch'ahi, ch'ahi. Duzaha, duzaha. Slow, fast. Haske, haske. Ptechada, ptechada. And there's another good example again with the PT, pte, ptechada, ptechada. Haska is long, ptechada is short. Kata, sini, kata, kata, sini, sini. Kata is hot, sini is cold. Chapa, chapa, chapa. Tamahecha, tamahecha, tamahecha. Chapa is fat, tamahecha is skinny. Spaya, spaya, spaya. Booze, booze. Spaya is wet, booze is dry. Ota, 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 many, many. Jonana, jonana, a few. Techa, techa. Gun, gun. Techa is young. Gun is old. Wayazanke, wayazanke, wayazanke. Zani, zani, zani. Wayazanke is sick. Zani is well. Wayazanka, zani. So we'll try and put these into like some short phrases. The first one was ste. We can say, Hokshidag de washte. Hokshidag de washte. The boy is good, or he is a good boy. Shicha, shicha. Tado kinde shicha. Tado kinde shicha. The meat is bad. I already said some of these words, like you know what Hokshida is, and some of the food parts, the foods. I went over them way before Christmas, so I don't know if you still have them with you, but that's what I'm going by. Ahi, ahi. Ahi. Iechi kamani ahi. Iechi kamani ahi. The car is slow. The car is slow. Duzaha. Iechi kamani duzaha. Iechi kamani duzaha. The car is fast. Iechi kamani duzaha. The car is fast. Kate. Tagad kate. Tagad kate. It's hot outside. Tagad kate. It's hot outside. Sni. Chare de sni. Excuse me. Chara de sni. The ice is cold. Chara de sni. The ice is cold. Chapa. 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 Shunka de chapa. The dog is fat. Shunka de chapa. tamahecha, tamahecha. Shukag de tamahecha, shukag de tamahecha. The dog is skinny. Shukag de tamahecha, the dog is skinny. Spire, spire. Oanka, spire. Oanka, spire. The floor is wet. Oanka, that's floor. Spire, wet. Oanka de spire. The floor is wet. Booze, booze. Oanka de booze. Oanka de booze. The floor is dry. Ota, ota. Mazaska ota bduha. Mazaska ota bduha. Ota is many, like lots. Mazaska ota bduha. I have lots of money. Jonana, Jonana. A very few. Jonana. Mazaska Jonana bduha. Mazaska Jonana bduha. I have a few dollars, or Mazaska. I have a few, I see it. I have a few dollars. Tacha, tacha. Hokshida de tacha. Hokshida de tacha. The boy is young. The boy is young. Hokshida de tacha. Hokshida de tacha. Gun. We chachtera gun. We chachtera de gun. The old man is old. We chachtera de gun. The man is old. Wayazanke. Wayazanke. Wayazanke is not well or sick. Kushi wayazanke. Kushi wayazanke. Grandma is sick. Kushi wayazanke. Zani. Zani is well. Zani. Kushi is well. Kushi is well. So those are your opposite words. Washte, shicha. Ahi, duzahe. Haske, ptechada. Kata, sni. Chapa, tamahecha. Spaye, buze. Ota, jonana. Tacha, gun. Wayazake, zani. Excuse me. So those are some of the opposite words. And I did my best to try and make phrases out of them. But we will keep coming back to that until, we can add different words to it, just to use and say different words. So we had all our numbers, and I hope, I made sense, in saying these numbers because, it can become quite difficult because it's not like in the English language when you count, when you say 66, okay? But this one you have to say, Wikjemna Shakbe Sam Shakbe. So, and these are good to know. These numbers are good to know because sometimes, in some other communities, people like to play Dakota bingo. And the caller usually, says the numbers in Dakota, and you have to try and find that on your card. Okay, if a person, the caller says, and Wikjemna Yamani Dob. Wikjemna Yamani Sam Doba. That was my mistake. Wikjemna Yamani Sam Doba. So you will find that number, which is 34 and 34. So like that, it's good to know the numbers because sometimes the older people, they don't know how to count, and they'll rather hear it, how to say it in Dakota, especially with age too. They don't want to say their age in Dakota, in English, so they say it in Dakota. So just, little things like that, we like to use. So I'll give you a break. I'll take a break for about 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll come back to some animal words and maybe food words that we will go into next. Iho. Iho ake hecha hana Dakota Iapi tena wichoe ki hana hecha ake washkankta. Uka ishto naka opposites Iapi hana ichamo ahan numbers hana naku uke hana ichamo. Ishto woitiking ha the food woita woyute food. So wajig na picked. I'll just say them, and then I'll say it in English when I'm done. Tukaheg ha Iapi. So listen very carefully. Iapi. That's bread. Pijuta sapa. Coffee. Bado. Potatoes. Wojapi. Pudding. Could be Saskatoon pudding, any kind of berry pudding, rice and raisin, any kind of pudding. Wojapi. Tanira. Tripe. Tanira. Chahampi. Chahampi. That's how it should be said. Chahampi. Cha is wood, a tree. Humpy is the liquid or the fluid that comes out of the tree. Chahampi. And that's how, like especially with the maple syrup, that's how some sugars are made. Chahampi or chahampi. Now it's said chahampi. Wahampi. Soup. Wahampi. Paris-zizi. Carrots. Paris-zizi. Pshin. Here's another one where the two consonants come together. You have to put them together, like you try not to separate it. Pshin, which is onions. Pshin. Pshi. Asampi Sutta. Asampi Sutta. Asampi Sutta. Cheese. Cheese. Wheatka. 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 That's another one where the two consonants come together. Wheatka. Don't say wheataka. It's wheatka. Wheatka. Eggs. Taro. 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 Meat. Could be any kind of meat, like wild meat or domestic meat. Maniskuya. 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 It's salt. Maniskuya. Maniskuya sapa. Maniskuya sapa. Maniskuya sapa. Pepper. Pepper. Wihidi. Wihidi. Wihidi is lard or shortening. Wihidi. Wamanaheza. 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 Corn. Wamanaheza. Taspan. 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 Apple. Taspan. Tipsina. 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 Turnips. Tipsina. Champa. 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 Choke cherries. Champa. Psi. Psi. Rice. Psi. So these two are spelled the same. Pshi, which is onions. Psi, which is rice. Pshi has the SH sound, whereas psi is just the S. So don't confuse those two. Psi is rice. Asampi. 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 Milk. Asampi. Ahoyapi Badu. Ahoyapi Badu. Ahoyapi Badu. Flour. Flour. Wachbe. Wachbe. Tea. Wachbe. Mani. Mani. Water. Mani. Chahampi shashada. Chahampi shashada. Chahampi shashada. That's candy. Chahampi Shashada. So we have a few there that I went over. So now we'll try and put them into a short phrase, and I'll use the same for each one of them. Ahoyapi mag-u. Ahoyapi, or you can say ahoyapi unge mag-u. Ahoyapi, bread, unge is some, mag-u is give me. Ahoyapi unge mag-u. Ahoyapi unge mag-u. Give me some bread. Pijuta sapa unge mag-u. Pijuta sapa unge mag-u. Pijuta sapa unge mag-u. Give me some coffee. Pijuta sapa unge mag-u. Bado. Bado unge mag-u. Bado unge excuse me. Bado unge mag-u. Give me some potatoes. Bado unge mag-u. Wojapi unge mag-u. Wojapi unge mag-u. Give me some pudding. Wojapi unge mag-u. Tanira unge mag-u. Tanira unge mag-u. Give me some tripe. Tanira unge mag-u. Chahampi unge mag-u. Chahampi unge mag-u. Give me some sugar. Chahampi unge mag-u. Chahampi shashada unge mag-u. Chahampi shashada unge mag-u. Give me some candy. Chahampi shashada unge mag-u. Wahampi unge mag-u. Wahampi unge mag-u. Wahampi unge mag-u. Give me some soup. Wahampi unge mag-u. Parizizi. Parizizi. Unge mag-u. Parizizi. Unge mag-u. Parizizi unge mag-u. Give me some carrots. Parizizi unge mag-u. Pshi unge mag-u. Pshi unge mag-u. Give me some onions. Pshi unge mag-u. Pshi unge mag-u. Asampi sunta unge mag-u. Asampi sunta unge mag-u. Asampi sunta unge mag-u. Give me some cheese. Asampi sunta unge mag-u. Witka ure mag-u. Witka ure mag-u. Give me some eggs. Witka ure mag-u. Tado ure mag-u. Tado ure mag-u. Give me some meat. Tado ure mag-u. Maniskuya ure mag-u. Maniskuya ure mag-u. Give me some salt. Maniskuya ure mag-u. Maniskuya sapa ure mag-u. Maniskuya sapa ure mag-u. Give me some pepper. Maniskuya sapa ure mag-u. Wihidi ure mag-u. Wihidi ure mag-u. Wihidi ure mag-u. Give me some lard. Wihidi ure mag-u. Wamnaheza ure mag-u. Wamnaheza ure mag-u. Give me some corn. Wamnaheza ure mag-u. Taspan ure mag-u. Taspan ure mag-u. Give me some apples. Taspan ure mag-u. Tipsina. Tipsina ure mag-u. Tipsina ure mag-u. Give me some turnips. Tipsina ure mag-u. Champa ure mag-u. Champa ure mag-u. Give me some choke cherries. Champa ure mag-u. Psi ure mag-u. Psi. Psi ure mag-u. Give me some rice. Psi ure mag-u. Asampi ure mag-u. Asampi ure mag-u. Give me some milk. Asampi ure mag-u. Iapi bedu ure mag-u. Iapi bedu ure mag-u. Give me some flour. Iapi bedu ure mag-u. Wachpe ure mag-u. Wachpe ure mag-u. Give me some tea. Wachpe ure mag-u. Mani ure mag-u. Mani ure mag-u. Give me some water. Mani ure mag-u. So these are some of the woyute. And the very basic ones that you have every day in your cupboards, in the fridge. These are some of the main ones that we use all the time. So, ure mag-u, that, give me some. So it's quite, I try to make it, as simple as I can. But again, if you do some recording and record the words, it will be more helpful. You'll be able to get the proper pronunciation of all the words and the phrases that have been spoken. So today, I want to wopida ichichiapi. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen and to take what they can. Because to learn the language, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but the thing is, you have to practice every day in order to pick up that pronunciation and to be able to say it. And I want you to say it as much as possible every day. Use it every day. And this is how you will build, the tongue, how the words are formed in your throat, because a lot of these sounds, we don't have it in our English language. So it's your mouth, your tongue needs to get used to those so as we'll be able to say it in the proper form. And this is why I encourage you to do recordings, and to listen. Listen, listen, listen. And that's how come I repeat, because that's the only way we can pick it up, to pick up how it sounds. So if you do that, that's a big step. In no time, you'll be saying little phrases. As time goes on, you can add more words and phrases, to your language. And I will do the same here. As time goes, I'll add more phrases and more words, and maybe what I can do too is add numbers into the language, like how many apples do I have? I have 13 apples, like words like that, but in Dakota. So as you'll use the nouns and the colors, the opposites, the numbers, to able to put everything, in a good sentence, to be able to speak. So I'm quite sure, everybody, knows the colors. It's been taught, usually the numbers and the colors are the first ones that are being taught in grade schools. So as we get older, we know these colors already. And some other communities, they use the colors with a different word. But here in Wipasakawakpa, we have our own way of saying our colors. So I don't want to confuse that. That's how come, I'm kind of staying away from that until we know for sure, when to use them, and then we can, say the colors. And then we can eventually add, some of the verbs, like verbs like mani, iotanka, inaji, like that, forming them into short phrases. So again, I would like to thank everybody for giving me that time to put this across to everybody and, to learn as best as you can. And remember, our prayer is so important, like talking to the Creator, to give you that knowledge, to help you guide in a proper way so as you can learn the things that you want to learn. Our prayer is so important. This is how come when in every Dakota community, when something is about to begin, we call upon the prayer to start us off. So, and this is what I like to do. So as what I do gives me guidance, and it gives me more wisdom, and it encourages me to do the proper things to help the people out there that do not know the Dakota language. And, I always happily, put that across to give them that good encouragement. We don't do anything wrong. There's no right way or there's no wrong way. We just learn what we can in a good way. We learn from our heart. We learn from seeing, and we learn from speaking it. So with that, I would like to leave this with you, and I will be back again tomorrow to teach some more Dakota words. Hanahichituya mitakapi was.